Hey guys, it's Kim and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then welcome, and I would love it if you join the Cam Fam, my little beauty community here on YouTube, by hitting that little subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So today is a 3 looks, 1 palette tutorial. So I've got 3 different eyeshadow looks coming your way with this gorgeous Hipdot CENOTE palette. So this is one of my favorite color stories in any palette. It's got some gorgeous blues. I wish it did have a little more green in it as well. And it's got some really nice earth tones on this side. And I love the overall concept of this. I actually got to go on a tour of like all the different cenotes on my honeymoon, which was in Cancun, Mexico. So this palette definitely brings back a lot of memories because those cenotes were like some of the most breathtaking things I've ever seen. You've got like these crystal clear pools and like all these caves over them and stuff like that. And I feel like this palette does a really nice job of capturing like the earth and the water and everything all together. So I really wanted to do 3 different looks so that way I could incorporate as many of the colors as possible of this palette because they're just stunning. I do wish the quality was a little bit better. This is the first Hipdot palette that I've ever used, and I did feel like the mattes were a little bit like chalky and not very pigmented. And even with the shimmers are definitely better than the mattes in this palette, but they still have like a tendency to crease, which like a higher end shimmer usually doesn't do. So I was a little disappointed with the quality of the palette, especially considering how much I love all of the colors of these and how often I'd like to use them. I just felt like the quality was a little lackluster. So if you want to see 3 different looks that you can do with this palette, then just keep watching. So for the first look, I just wanted to do something that was a little more like easy, fun for daytime, and something that really used all of the beautiful blues in this palette. So I'm first dipping into the shade Maya, using my Morphe M433 brush, and I'm just going to pat that on the outer corner. Again, it looks like super bright blue in the pan, but these colors really aren't like, I feel like, as pigmented, especially the mattes, as I would like them to be. So I'm just building that up a little bit in the outer corner. And then I'm just going to kind of like smoke this out, make a nice little outer V shape. And bring it into the crease just a little bit, maybe like halfway in. And see, I already feel like here in the outer V, the color is just like being wiped away so easily. Then I just wipe my brush and I'm just going to blend out these edges a little bit. So once I've got that matte blue laid out in the outer corners pretty nicely, again, I feel like this is looking like just so dusty and patchy. I'm really not fond of the mattes in this palette. I'm going to go in with the color Jungle on my finger, and I'm going to apply this to the middle of the lid. Thankfully, the shimmers in this palette are very nice and pigmented. And they also really don't have much fallout, which is great because normally shimmers can just get all over your face. And I'm just using my finger to kind of fade that out into the crease right there. So don't worry too much about like the inner edges of this shimmer because we're going to blend all of that out with the next color. So now I'm grabbing a pretty precise flat shader brush. This is a Sigma E56. And I'm going to dip into the color Rain. And I'm taking this from the inner corner and just blending it into that medium blue shade. I'm also just going to place it in the inner corner like so. And then just wipe some of the product off your brush and just blend it right in the crease. That way everything is just kind of seamless right here. If you feel like you're losing a little bit of that medium blue shimmer, then just reapply it. But now that blend is going to be much easier. So for the lower lash line, I want to keep it fairly neutral so that way it matches all 3 of these looks and also just doesn't look like too much blue everywhere. So I'm picking up the color Ojos on a Morphe M508 brush, and I'm just going to smudge that along the lower lash line. And then I'm picking up the shade Bedrock with an M321 brush, and I'm just going to blend that out. Alright, so now I'm just going to throw some lashes on and show you guys what this first look looks like all done. So this is the first look all done, and I think it's a great everyday look for even like winter or summer, because you know, you can go the icy vibe or you can go like the blue watery vibe for summer. So I think this is a great universal look, and it's super easy to do with only 3 shadows. Now this second look is a little less like icy, I would say, and a little more tropical. It's also going to be a half cut crease, so maybe not like the fastest to do for every day, but I just really wanted to incorporate as many of these colors as possible. So again, I'm starting with the color Maya, but I'm going to place this in the outer corner and run it all the way through the crease up to the inner corner. In a weird way, because this color is so like not pigmented, it actually works really well as just like a transition shade, because it can very easily just fade away. I don't know, maybe that was like the point of this color, was to be like a lighter blue transition shade, but it just doesn't really show up that much. So now I'm going in with a much smaller brush. This is a Morphe M456 brush, and I'm dipping into the color Spirit, which is like a darker navy blue color. So this is really what I'm relying on for that depth in the outer corner. And this one's pretty pigmented. Again, the mattes are just really chalky, I feel like. So maybe that helps with blendability, but I definitely prefer a creamier formula. And again, I'm just focusing that in the outer V and then bringing it maybe like halfway into the crease. So now I'm taking some of my ColourPop No Filter Concealer on a flat M224 concealer brush, and I'm going to carve out the half cut crease. I love doing it with this brush because the edge of it is like so perfectly rounded. You can literally just like stamp out the shape. Then I'm picking up the color Meltwater, and this is on a MAC 242 brush, and I'm going to press this onto the lid to try to avoid fallout as much as possible. Blend it into that outer corner. And then I'm taking that flat pointed Sigma E56 brush again, and I'm going to dip into the color Escape and use this for the inner half of the half cut crease. And just blend this edge by dragging the gold into the blue. You kind of almost want to create a green over there. And then I'm just picking that dark navy up again, just to deepen the outer edge and help blend this blue. Alright, so let me go throw on my lashes again, and I'll be right back for the full look. So here's the second look all done, and it's definitely more of like a tropical vibe. Okay, so now I want to switch gears to something a little more natural with like earth tones and stuff like that, because there's really a lot of gorgeous colors in this palette, so I really wanted to dig into as many as possible. So first I'm going to mix a little bit of Ojos and Bedrock on an M441 brush, and I'm going to lay this down as a transition shade to warm up the crease. I tried wiping up as much of that blue with some makeup remover, but I still feel like there's a little bit peeking through. Then again with a 433 brush, I'm picking up the color Subsurface, and I'm gonna apply this in the outer corner. The neutral tones in this palette are actually really, really pretty. I'm gonna run it about like halfway into my crease. And this color just blends so nicely into those transition shades. Then I'm gonna pick up the color Sacred on an M506 brush, and I'm taking just the tiniest amount to deepen up the outer crease just a little bit. Really more so like close to the lash line. Like I said, these shadows are already very powdery, so they already come off like really faint when they're applied. So now I'm gonna pick up the color Cave with my finger. I'm gonna apply that all over the lid. Then I'm actually going to mix the colors Rain and Escape together just to tone down a little bit of like that bright warmth from the color Escape. And I'm going to apply that a little bit in the inner corner just to brighten it up a little bit. And now I'm going to take an M165 brush just to add a little bit of depth here. I'm going to take Subsurface along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take Sacred kind of along the outer half of the upper lash line, just to kind of like smoke it into the outer corner. So now we've just added a little bit of extra definition. So again, I'm going to go grab a pair of lashes and I'll be right back. And so here's the last look finished. And it's a very earthy, warm, like daytime smoky eye. So that's it, my loves. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please smash that like button down below for me, and leave me a little comment down below letting me know which of these looks you're gonna try. And if you're wondering what to watch next, here's 2 more videos by me that you can check out, and then click on my face to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, my loves, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah.